joining me now is Joel Villeneuve, naturopathic doctor. So I guess a large part of what the athletes are preparing for is not only strength, but diet.
Absolutely. Diet is going to provide you with the fuel that you need. And we want to make sure that for every event, the fuel is accessible. So let's talk about starting prior to training. What people need to be aware of is to really know about their blood sugar. And what we want to keep in mind is that hypoglycemia is when blood sugar is less than 3.4. When you work out, I actually assess this in the athletes that I work with, that I recommend that their blood sugar be at least 5.6, because if it's lower, they're going to run out of fuel. So we actually measure and monitor our athletes to make sure they're in the right zone. The other thing they want to keep in mind is that athletes are prone to anemia. They're using a lot of fuel, and they just tend to be prone to anemia. So we want to measure and monitor that and make sure we're building that up prior to the event.
Okay, and what's that a bottle of there?
This is just an iron source, actually.
Right,
a supplement.
Which, of course, is what anemics suffer from.
Exactly. The other thing is we want to make sure our athletes are actually absorbing the minerals and nutrients that they're taking in. So taking a digestive enzyme during the months prior to actually having your sport is an excellent thing as well. We're going to feature a little bit about what the athlete would then move to 3 hours before the event. And if anybody wants more information, I've got a newsletter on my website. But we're, of course, going to feature quinoa because it splits as a protein and a carbohydrate. And the neat thing about this is that you can have it in many forms. You can have it in its whole grain form as a salad. We've also created a product called Energize Snack Crisps. And you can have actually 5 of these prior to your event. And essentially what you want to do is you want to have a 1-to-1 protein carb ratio because you want to be able to access that fuel quickly. Most Olympic events are seconds, right? We're watching the clock and it's like less than a minute. So these athletes have to be able to access the fuel immediately. They want to make sure that they have at least 30 grams of protein. They want to make sure they have at least 30 grams of carbohydrate, and that would be equal to about 3/4 of a cup of quinoa.
Perfect, okay.
Yeah. And then you want to do at least 2 cups of vegetables. I've added these beautiful sprouts because these are rich in natural digestive enzymes. So these are going to help the athletes absorb the foods that they have. I've also added seaweed because this is the jewel of nutrition. It has everything that you need in it, and it's just easily to access.
Really?
Yeah, so this is what they're going to have 3 hours before.
What's the best way to prepare seaweed?
Seaweed, the best way to do it is you need to rehydrate it. You're going to buy it in a dried form, and then you're going to actually just add a vinaigrette. You're going to add a salad dressing on top, add some lovely vegetables to it, and you've got a salad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you've also set out some important things to ingest afterwards.
Exactly. Well, what you want to keep in mind, this is after, during, and this might be even actually an hour before. What you're going to do is you're going to think about hydration and electrolytes. So what I've done is I've just put water, I've put citrus just to give it a little bit of flavor, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add our electrolytes. And I love this stuff because it's in a powdered form. You can pack it, take it anywhere with you. Got it at the clinic, and then all you do is just minerals that help to balance the pH. You might want to throw in a little bit of coconut oil because prior to exercise, you get the best balance of your hormones using your oils and fats before.
Okay, so we're almost out of time, so can we just touch really briefly on important things to have after?
Exactly. So after, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're cleansing the body and you're refilling it with protein, with branched chain amino acids that are easy to absorb. You just want to make up a smoothie, focus on other foods that actually benefit the liver and detoxification. And if you're sore and achy, we've got things for that too.
Perfect. Joelle, it was such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know that it's a lot to get in to a short amount of time, and so a reminder that you can find the newsletter with all of the information at revivelifeclinic.com.
That's right. And just very quickly, we've got the Education Center. It's sponsored by L'Horizon, Natural Food Pantry, and CA Parity, and you can find out about all of our cooking lessons online.
Great. Because a reminder, when you're exercising that much, that diet is a very important part. You can't forget about that.